James, my cereal, you can catch me at the Dab for Monist. Shout out to the Monist gang. Okay, cool. So I must confess, I had a negative response to this universal law when it first came into my awareness. A negative response just like the philosopher Ecclesiastes and how he reacted within the Bible. The whole Ecclesiastes book in the Bible is a brawl with this realization of the universal law of rhythm. Okay, cool. So the universal law of rhythm states, everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. In the measure of the swing to the right is the same measure to the swing to the left, as rhythm must compensate. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 to 8 echoes the same thing. It says, everything has a season, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what has been planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to build and a time to destroy, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn and dance, gain and lose, keep and throw away, love, hate, peace, war. You see, the swing of the rhythm is in everywhere. But the Hermetics believe that the law of rhythm operated on the metaphysical plane as well. The universe compensates. Have you ever experienced days where you feel super happy and you're confidently ready to take on the world, but on other days you just feel low energy and you tend to procrastinate? The law states joyful experiences must be compensated with suffering. Gains must be compensated with losses. Destruction must be compensated with creation. The law of rhythm is one of those laws that make change inevitable, and without it the universe would be in chaos. However, one of the reasons why I think I had a problem with the law when it first came into my awareness is the law guarantees adversity and challenges on your path. Let's first discuss the downswing of the law of rhythm. Even though you cannot escape the law of rhythm, you can transcend the law using a higher law such as the law of polarity. Just like how no one can escape the law of gravity, but you can transcend the law of gravity using the law of lift. That's how planes fly. I've touched on the law of polarity before in another video, and I'll leave a link in the description for you to check it out. But when adversity occurs, you minimize your downswings by polarizing yourself to a state of gratitude. When experiencing a downswing, a refusal to participate in the backward swing and rejecting the negative mental states that occur within a downward swing will halt the downward swing of rhythm. The perspective that everything is a blessing or a blessing in disguise allows you to halt the swing of rhythm as you extract the lessons within the downswing and extract the seed of equivalent positive from the adversity you're facing. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 3 says, sorrow is better than laughter. It may sadden your face, but it sharpens your understanding. Polarizing yourself to a state of gratitude activates the law of correspondence. To master the mental is to master the external world through the universal law of correspondence. I did a video on the universal law of correspondence. I'll leave it in the description for you to check it out. You can consciously choose how to feel even in a low swing and have some mental fortitude. Some people are completely controlled by rhythm, where you feel up and then you feel down. If the adversity in your path presents you with fear, don't try to get rid of fear with fear. You trying to suppress your negative emotions will only make you feel worse. Instead, focus on cultivating courage. Think, how would a courageous person feel, talk, act? The universal law of correspondence will attract situations and circumstances that reflect your internal mental state. If you experience a downswing or an adversity and you cower away and be consumed with that fear, you only fuel the downswing. The psychological literature on this is very clear. That you are more likely to succeed during adversity if you view the adversity as a challenge you can conquer. Tests have been done on two separate groups where stress was placed on them. And the group that voluntarily decided to take on the stress used different physiological structures within the brain that allowed them to extract more brain resources to take on the problem. This is unlike the group that involuntarily took on the stress, which used different physiological structures of the brain which are less adequate to solve the problem. There's something about going ahead towards your adversity with courage and faith during the downswing of the law of rhythm that saves you and helps you to transcend. In clinical psychological practice, phobias are conquered by exposing patients to what they fear at manageable rates. Patients conquer phobias not because the object is less scary or the adversity gets less scary, but instead what happens is they gain courage to face their adversity full force and they get bigger. There is utility in seeing adversity during downswings as something you can conquer with courage and faith. When a downswing of rhythm happens, polarize yourself to a state of gratitude and enjoy every step of the way towards the goal. We are neurologically built for the cliche saying, enjoy the process. As our brain receives happiness while striving for a goal despite the downswings. Psychological data shows that happiness is a byproduct of striving towards a goal. It's a mistake to consciously say I'll be happy when I get my goal, as your happiness will be forever delayed and will never come. Jeffrey Gray, a neurologist in the 20th century, says positive chemicals are released in our brain when striving towards goals. If you're going to a trip, the brain releases the happy drug while preparing for a trip and getting ready and going and traveling towards the trip than you are when you're actually experiencing the trip. In a downswing of the law of rhythm, you will be neurochemically be rewarded for courage and punished for not striving ahead. We are always striving. You always need a goal to help you polarize your thoughts. Striving is unnegotiable, and the law of rhythm demands that for you to progress or shrink. In my experience as well, listening to your intuition can help reduce the magnitude of the downswings of the law of rhythm. I experience this now. As we speak, I'm experiencing a downswing of rhythm. Last year, my intuition continuously gave me instructions for months to leave the safe haven I'd built for myself, figuratively speaking. But I got scared of the unknown and didn't want to lose my comfort zone, despite my intuition telling me I needed to. Like clockwork, in the beginning of the year, my safe haven instantly turned into hell and crumbled. And the warning disguised as an instruction by my intuition to tell me to move came to be. The effects of the downswing I'm experiencing now could have been avoided if I listened to my intuition. This is just like the biblical literature when God told Noah that the flood was coming. If he did not prepare, he would have been wiped out. However, despite my situation in the downswing and my safe haven transmuting to a prison, I continuously on a daily basis polarized myself in gratitude and looked for the positive equivalent within the situation. So as a consequence, no matter how hot the fire got around me, it did not touch me. And the universe's serendipity, providence, and love around me in the last couple of months have just been crazy. So listening to your intuition can minimize the effects of the law of rhythm. When a problem arises, polarize yourself to a point of gratitude. Does not matter what you look at, it matters what you see. So ideally, your life progression should be like a zigzag, moving upwards with higher highs and higher lows. Do not be bound to the highs and lows of life. In yoga, there's an idea of non-attachment to the highs and lows in life. Enjoy everything as it comes and always be in a state of gratitude. Jeff Bezos says he doesn't attach himself or gets excited when the stock prices go up, because when they go down, he'll still be attached to those prices and will have to face disappointment. Gary Vee echoes the same message by saying he doesn't attach himself to the compliments the viewers give him, because that will validate the negative feedback he gets back. However, it's worth noting that you can also get caught up in the upswings of rhythm.
What you've been able to accomplish in these last 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, usually when it's, when people start to put it in your face, when it's one of these moments like the turn of a decade or something, is when you really start to sort of see it more and realize it. I never let myself get too invested in the lows or the highs. That's kind of how I stay focused. But
I spoke on downswings a lot on this video because that's the half of law of rhythm I feel like I've applied the last couple of years and somewhat mastered. I'm still yet to master polarizing during severe upswings. As last year, April, a huge opportunity landed on my hands, and I got attached to the upswing, and the excitement that I had transcended into a sense of fear and anxiousness, where I started questioning, am I deserving of this opportunity? And literally just after I got that feeling, that opportunity dissolved in my hands. So do not be caught up with the upswings. Always polarize yourself to just a sense of gratitude and awe. If you stop for a moment, you realize how many times you have been affected by the law of rhythm. The master polarizes himself to the point in which he desires and neutralizes the rhythm swing with gratitude. James Mansuri, y'all. You can catch me at the Diary from Honest. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. I just want to say, we just passed 200 subs, and I want to give gratitude to you guys. I want to thank you guys for all your attention, for all the time you spent, for the feedback. I do appreciate it. James Mansuri, you can catch me at the Diary from Honest.